The story begins on a planet unlike Earth, where a young Yautja, predator, named Dek lands his ship, seemingly searching for something. He enters a cave and is confronted by an cloaked figure, another Yautja who reveals himself to be Dek's older brother. They engage in combat, during which Dek falls but manages to cling on and climb back up. His brother points out that Dek is unarmed and therefore defeated, asserting that a warrior must have a weapon. The two brothers return to their ship. Dek, who is short for his species, Runt, is cautioned by his brother not to be arrogant and to work hard with the capabilities he has. The brother offers Dek an alternative to prove his worth for acceptance into the Predator clan: travel to another planet, the Death Planet, Jenna, to hunt a creature worthy of a true warrior and bring it back as proof to their father, the clan leader. His brother warns him that this mission is incredibly dangerous and that he might not return, but it is his only choice to avoid being killed for being incomplete. As Dek prepares to leave, another ship lands nearby, and their father emerges. He asks if they have fought, implying that one of them should have been killed to secure a spot in the warrior clan. Dek's father adheres strictly to the law, which demands that the loser, Dek, be executed, even though Dek's stronger brother is reluctant to finish him due to emotional ties. Dek's brother quickly shoves Dek into his ship, locks the door, and then turns to fight their father. During the struggle, the brother loses an arm. Instead of picking up a sword to fight back, he retrieves his severed arm, which contains the remote control for Dek's ship, and launches it toward the designated planet. He is then killed by his father, ensuring Dek's escape. Dek awakens as his ship detaches a module, dropping him into the atmosphere of the Death Planet. Before he even lands, he collides with a strange, flying creature. On the ground, Dek vows to complete the mission for his brother and inspects his weapon box, finding his most important tools, a bow, a knife, and his wrist-mounted device. While preparing, he sees a tree-like creature capture another strange animal. This living tree creature then attacks Dek in large numbers. Dek narrowly escapes by leaping onto a nearby rock face, where he observes that the planet is a vast natural jungle. Later, Dek is seen cleaning a wound near a stream and applying a crushed plant leaf. He tries to eat a strange worm, but throws it away when it changes shape, only for it to explode like a bomb. He continues into a grassy area and encounters a peculiar, flower-like plant covered in spines, resembling a porcupine. It is highly reactive to movement. A woman's voice calls out from above, warning him about the plant. A strange bird then drops a rock onto one of the spiny plants, causing an explosion of quills that reveals the entire area is covered in them. The bird continues to attack Dek by triggering the spiny plants. The woman explains that she is trapped in a tree and can help him navigate the area if he helps her first. As the attacks continue and Dek is hit, the quills poison him, causing him to become disoriented. Before passing out, he throws his weapon to the woman. The bird flies down to attack the unconscious Dek, but the woman, now freed by using Dek's weapon, saves him and defeats the bird. When Dek picks up the woman, he realizes she has no legs. She reveals she is an android named Thaya on a mission. Dek, suspicious, is about to leave her, but Thaya explains that taking her along would be beneficial, as she knows the terrain and the dangerous wildlife, warning him he might not survive without her guidance. Dek agrees and carries her. They cross a stream where a strange venomous snake shoots acid that can easily dissolve flesh. Thaya shows him a seed that, if fed to the snake, will make it consider them its master and cease attacking. To make travel easier, Dek uses vines to weave a basket to carry Thaya on his back. That night, resting in a canyon, Thaya mentions that despite being trapped there, she was never bored because the night sky was beautiful. Dek remains withdrawn. Thaya, envious of Dek's status as a living being, talks about her own situation, hoping her team, Tessa's crew, will come to rescue her. Dek falls asleep while she is talking. The scene cuts to a science facility where an android identical to Thaya, but severely damaged, is being repaired in a pod by scientists. This android is revealed to be Tessa, confirming Thaya's earlier mention of her team. Tessa's system scans and shows the data and images of her sisters, Thaya's, encounters. This confirms that Thaya and Tessa were on a mission together, but only Tessa managed to return before becoming damaged, leaving Thaya stranded. The next day, Thaya and Dek continue their journey toward a large grassy plain where a formidable beast is grazing. The grass is as sharp as blades, making a direct approach impossible. As Dek tries to find a way to hunt the large creature, a strange monkey-like creature with a crocodile-like back appears nearby. The monkey-like creature, named Bud by Thaya in the source material, introduces itself with a flexing motion and immediately jumps into the plane to hunt the large beast. Deck quickly follows, leaping from tree to tree, chasing them. He catches up and jumps onto the large beast, but is knocked off. The monkey-like creature also claims the hunt, leading to a fight between Deck and the new creature over the prey. As they fight, the large beast charges at them. Deck throws his sharp knife, cleanly slicing the beast in half, astonishing the monkey-like creature. Immediately, a giant creature with long tentacles like an octopus grabs them both and puts them in its mouth, preparing to chew. The monkey-like creature quickly jumps inside the mouth and uses its strong back to brace against the creature's teeth, breaking them, and forcing the creature to spit them out. Seeing this act of self-sacrifice, the monkey-like creature has seemingly taken a liking to Deck and Thea. The octopus-like creature tries to escape, and Deck pursues it. The monkey-like creature is caught again. Deck, using his knife, quickly fells a nearby tree, creating a bridge to jump onto the large creature and successfully hunt it, saving his new friend in the process. The scene cuts to Tessa and her team returning to the planet, engaging in combat with the living plant life using advanced technology. Meanwhile, Thea, Deck, and the monkey-like creature set up camp in a canyon. Thea expresses her happiness at having found a trusting and effective team. Deck, however, states he does not consider the monkey-like creature, Bud, part of the team, though he says Thea is his weapon. Bud, however, is devoted to Deck and mimics his actions, even yawning when Deck does. Tessa's team finds Deck's crashed ship and confiscates his scientific equipment, including a device capable of creating instant freezing effects. The next morning, Deck attempts to leave Bud behind, claiming a true predator hunts alone. Thea reminds him of her value as his weapon, and they continue alone until they reach an area littered with destroyed machinery, evidence of a previous battle. Thea sees her severed legs inside a wrecked vehicle and insists Deck help her put her legs and torso into a nearby repair car to reconnect her body. While the process is ongoing, Thea intercepts a signal that Tessa is approaching and urgently tells Deck to leave, warning him that Tessa's group is there to capture and hunt the unique lifeforms, and that they will kill him. Deck, confused, accuses her of betrayal. Thea vehemently denies it, pleading with him to go because he has become important to her, and she does not want him to fight Tessa. Deck refuses to leave. He exits the vehicle and intentionally ignites a fuel barrel to create a signal, announcing his presence. Just then, a huge creature that previously destroyed Thea's team rushes in. Deck attacks it, but its body regenerates instantly. The beast retaliates, slamming Deck into the repair car, further damaging Thea's reconnection process. Thea, still incomplete, uses a scientific weapon to shoot the monster, helping Deck, who then seizes the chance to sever the monster's head. The monster's head also regenerates. It is about to stomp and consume Deck, but upon smelling him, it recognizes the scent of an honorable warrior and hesitates. Tessa and her team arrive. Tessa throws the freezing device she took from Deck's ship, instantly encasing both the monster and Deck in ice. Deck is captured and brought back to Tessa's camp with Thea. Thea awakens and is overjoyed to see Tessa, whom she considers a sister. Thea pleads with Tessa not to experiment on Deck, stating he is her friend and family. Tessa ignores her, seeing Thea's emotion as weakness, and orders her team to continue the experimentation on Deck. Thea manages to find an opportunity to activate an emergency button, freeing Deck, who then falls into a deep ravine. Fortunately, the bottom of the ravine is where his ship's original crash site is located. Deck, now reunited with his ship and medical equipment, remembers the pain of his father killing his brother. He replans his mission for a successful and victorious exit. He begins gathering the unique resources he learned about on the planet, the exploding worms, the bladed grass, the spiny plants, and he finds the venomous snake, feeding it the special seeds to make it his personal animal companion. He then finds his loyal monkey-like friend, Bud, at their previous resting spot, accepting him as a true friend and family. Finally, he returns to the car, detaches Thea's repaired legs, and sets them in motion to find the rest of her body, which is being held captive in a container at Tessa's base. Deck and Bud arrive at Tessa's compound. The snake companion shoots its corrosive venom at the guards, dissolving them. Bud silently attacks other guards, while the detached legs find Thea's torso and reconnect, completing her body. Reunited, they now view themselves as a family. Deck is the husband, Thea is the wife, and Bud is their son. Deck sets traps using the exploding worms and the various flora, decimating Tessa's robot forces. Tessa, in retaliation, deploys a huge robot. As it is about to fire a beam at Deck, his snake companion sacrifices itself to protect him. Enraged but helpless against the large robot, Deck's group needs a plan. Thea, seeing her opportunity opportunity, runs to the holding area where Tessa had frozen the enormous creature from before and frees it. The giant creature, having its own vendetta against Tessa, attacks and destroys her robot, then swallows Tessa whole. It approaches Deck and Bud in a friendly manner to thank them for their help. Moments later, the giant creature's body freezes from the inside out and explodes. Tessa, using the instant freeze device inside the creature's stomach, emerges. She attempts to fire a laser to execute Thea, but Deck intercepts the attack. Bud seizes the opportunity and tackles and destroys Tessa's body. Deck and his team board his ship and return to his home planet. He engages in a one-on-one duel with his father, successfully killing him and claiming his scientific equipment, likely his armor or weapons, for himself. The story ends there. Thank you to all our viewers for following this story summary from beginning to end. Finally, I wish everyone good health and good luck. And don't forget to subscribe if you like this story.